Welcome to TAS-Blasting, our series where we explore the weird and cheap world of Star Trek, the animated series, the chronically underwatched, forgettable part of Star Trek fandom.
On today's episode, we're tapping into Season 1, Episode 4, the Lorelei Signal.
I always thought the Lorelei Signal was that little foot tap under the stall.
You and I come from very different sections of the supermarket.
Tread lightly, you great value muppet. Anyways, this episode starts off with the Enterprise checking out this section of space where a whole bunch of ships from all different kinds of planets have been disappearing. It's a classic Cuban triangle.
Bermuda.
Not the way I do it, baby.
Ugh. They're here now because they've calculated that a ship disappears here every 27.346 years.
So they're hanging around waiting for this countdown, spooking the hell out of Kirk. And he puts the ship on yellow alert.
Spock finishes his countdown, and they pick up a strange signal spot on. Uhura puts it on the ship's PA and proves to everyone that she has no taste in music.
It's more like music than a message.
Spock feels a deep probe from 20 light years away.
And all of a sudden, the men on the bridge start feeling a very strong need to go into the light. I mean, follow the signal.
But the broads ain't buying it. The noise stirs nothing in the nethers of this ship's female crew members.
But by this time, Kirk's dick is already at the helm, setting the course. Kind of impressive, honestly.
They get underway, and Uhura calls Nurse Chapel up to the bridge for a little chit-chat.
She tells Chapel to look, but don't look at the guys on the bridge.
She notices everybody at half-mast immediately, and we get a little montage of what each of our beloved heroes might find sexually arousing. Ugh, the Roddenberry thumbprint. Clear as day in the clay of Star Trek.
Spock apparently likes Lady Drummer. Don't we all? And Kirk is envisioning the golden voice and the golden cleavage, Miss Dolly Parton.
Spock and Kirk figure out the girls aren't having quite the same fun they are.
What visions? We don't see anything.
And buzzes McCoy up to the bridge.
But the doc's got his own problems. We know why your legs are crossed, Dr. McCoy.
Magnolias in blossom. Beautiful.
He's on a little Georgia O'Keeffe trip of his own, and not really in the mood to answer the intercom.
Seriously, does that line mean McCoy is aroused by the idea of summer in his home state? Like, not a person? No wonder he's space divorced. Anywho, they get close to the source of the signal, and right before their eyes, a planet materializes out of nowhere.
After a quick commercial break, we come back to Scotty, very sweatily delivering a personal log.
We are in orbit around Planet 2 in the Taurian system. Probes and sensors indicate there was once a vast civilization here. Lovely, lovely.
They left him in charge, full-on hallucinating frilly bitches on the bridge.
Uhura and Chapel are trying to make sense of the sensor readings that Spock has been collecting so far.
While the boys have gone down to the planet to do some poking around.
Spock speaks up over his boner to promote some caution, but Kirk says, fuck it. And they make their way to this badass-looking flame church.
They just barge in and are met by, oh no, it's Josie and the Pussycats!
And these babes know exactly how to make a man feel appreciated. They are playing these dudes for chumps moment one.
So you wouldn't be tempted in this kind of situation, huh, Roy?
Tempted? No, I wouldn't have hesitated long enough to be tempted. I would be in the middle of that pile of ladies faster than you can say sploshing.
Don't play coy with us. You'd be in the middle of the Star Trek dudes, too. Just the whole big old pit.
I am personal pansexual. It's at this time that the head female, Thela, introduces herself.
I am Thela, the head female.
These ladies already know their names, which should be red flag number 1, but Spock is more interested in red flag number 2.
His scanner is telling them that they are not at all what they seem to be. You know, body-wise and all. Something about their outsides being normal, but having many, internal differences.
Hey, Roy, you ever seen the movie Teeth?
Oh my God.
And then we get a great line from McCoy.
First time I ever admired a body function.
Firstly, he's a doctor, so that can't be true. And also, does that mean the doc is asexual? Some pieces are falling into place for our southern bow.
But maybe not their pieces. Kirk asked them how they knew they were coming, and she immediately shows off that old truth that the hotter the woman, the crazier.
The Optoad revealed you to us.
Which reveals their computer, the Octowad, which can show them anything at all they desire to see.
They thank the boys for answering their call, tell them not to worry about why they called, because that's not really important, and invite them to a little dinner celebration before they get down to business.
We get a little personal log from Kirk, and it shows just how much of a great time they're having down there, because he sounds tripped out.
Bones shows his hand a little bit and asks where all the dudes are.
Yeah, we're all the men. I'm not having a great time, but really, where are the guys? Just curious. Thela says that the men live in another compound, and Kirk just loves this answer.
They occupy another compound.
That makes sense.
Just then, one of these hoes grabs a tomato and lobs it straight at Spock's chest with a cheeky little think fast.
The men just start dropping, one by one, the last being Kirk, and they're taken away to the slumbering chambers.
When they come to, they're all looking around at each other as they slowly realize the horror of their situation. They are very rapidly turning into Willie Nelson.
Back on the ship, Uhura and Chapel are holding things down, gathering the analysis of the all-female science team they've assembled.
So anyway, these ladies have figured out that there was a radio station down there that's playing all boners all the time with booze on the hour. And it's going to eventually kill them if they stay much longer. McCoy even quicker since he was born 75 years old.
Uhura starts handling her shit and gathers the baddest, buffest lady security team to guard the transporters in case anybody is tempted down to the planet. Chapel starts to ask her what she thinks she's doing.
But Uhura just gives her that don't fuck with me look. Shuts her Karen ass up real quick.
Down on the surface, the boys are asking to go home at the feet of Mistress Thela.
But she's not gonna let them go until they all go full Nelson.
Thela lays it out for Kirk. They're gonna turn each and every man on his ship into country music legends until their dark needs are satisfied.
They're already up to Hank Williams' 16th. Just goes to show how dead country music is nowadays.
The boys try to make an escape, but these golden gals just pile them up in a corner like rag dolls.
Back on the ship, Scotty is practicing his yodel, getting ready for stardom and the Nashville Lights.
Gwen and God rode Isaac
Imagine a world where time drifts slowly.
Uhura is having none of that, and boots Scott right out of his chair. Then gives Chapel a quick field promotion to Chief Medical Officer. About time.
Down in the recording chambers, the boys find a way to break out.
We get a nice, silhouetted foot chase through the temple grounds.
With some very 70s wah guitar scoring happening here.
Love it! Which leads to the boys' cunning plan to outsmart these mysterious, ancient age predators. To go hide in a big old clay pot.
Evading the ladies and giving them a moment to breathe. They notice that their Nelsonification has stopped when they're not near those platinum pussycats.
They work out that the stylish southwestern headbands they've been wearing are helping the women drain them of their vital life forces.
Jane?
Get in your box, Mr. Roddenberry.
You know, he probably likes the box too. The man was an absolute pervert.
Yeah, remember the punishment box from the TOS Mirror universe? Anyway, they decide to send Spock to the temple to try and contact the ship, because he's stronger and can be older for longer.
Spock rolls up to the outer nut and hums a Psycho Karen tune to activate it.
He asks where Teacher put his Game Boy and goes over to grab it, sending a message out to the Enterprise asking for a rescue party. An all-lady rescue party. I'm very specific here.
Because what this party really needs is more chicks, but I digress.
What, you want more raisin men? Back on the ship, Uhura has gotten a great group of gals together.
They beam down and get immediately refused by an extra bitchy Thela.
Thela points her finger in Uhura's face, and that was a fuck up.
Uhura has her girls open up with the Type 1s and tase these boss Karens into submission.
Leaving Thela stunned. Literally. Actually, very easily.
They set out searching for the lost boys, but can't seem to find them.
Spock reaches out to Chapel with his mind, and he calls her Christine. Scandalous. Which is it, Spock? Do you like her or don't you?
He guides them to where they got him, and he's more willy than he's ever been. He looks like that animated Hobbit movie.
The other boys are still hiding out in that big jug. But now it's started to rain, so this is becoming much less tenable by the second.
In his weakness, Spock manages to eke out one last mansplaining session for the remaining female engineers.
We tried that.
Try it again, but pretend you're a dude. Do it harder like a dude would.
Back in the temple, Uhura is not fucking around in the slightest. She is going full-on Pam Grier. She's smashing up Thiela's vases, carpets, anything that she thinks this bitch might cherish. She's vaporizing it.
You think those ladies got raises after this is all over?
Maybe the skirts got raises, but that's about it.
Oh yeah, this is the 70s. Uhura threatens her healing crystals, and she finally yields, singing up the computer to show her the history of this dreaded she planet.
Turns out this place is a real hellhole, and basically only lets the ladies live in peace.
These Barbies are actually kind of prisoners here, only able to live by draining the life force of passing males. Unable to die, unable to stop killing.
Let's not make this sound too dramatic. Unable to die, unable to stop killing? More like unwilling, but whatever. They pull up the Optowad and get a good shot of the aged men drowning in a big pot of boy stew.
This is my meal. I call this girl dinner. Girl dinner!
The girls rush out of the garden and bust up the urn, spilling the boys out onto the lawn.
They get them back to the ship, and Chapel's hard at work trying to unwillify them as quickly as they can.
And Spock takes a moment here to have a stroke of genius.
Or just a stroke.
He says they can just use a safe scan from the transporters and give them their old bodies back.
Wait, doesn't that mean that everyone in the Federation could just live forever thanks to transporter technology?
Trust me, sister, you do not want to go down that particular rabbit hole. These transporters are the bane of all continuity everywhere for all time in Star Trek.
They decide to give it a shot and beam down to the surface again. They're going to try beaming back up and swapping in their younger patterns. Does that mean the old ones die? Never mind.
Yes, Scotty is very dubious, but just loves pressing buttons, so he initiates the transport.
They go through a few sweaty moments, but they make it back and...
You're more handsome than ever.
Gene.
Back on the planet, Uhura is making good with the blondes, and they even got the Federation to give them a new ship and a new planet, a planet full of hopes and dreams, and the neon lights of Nashville.
And apparently McCoy has come up with a way to cure them of their vampirism too, of which Thiela is eternally grateful and ready to make babies, since that's all women are good for.
Agreed. I'd be done with that planet too. Can you imagine the fights they had over borrowed shoes?
Deadly and cruel.
So, what'd you think about this classic episode?
First off, they're all murderers, and the Federation are just like, okay, bye, have a new planet and a spaceship, we love you, bye. What the fuck? They lured guys here to eat them, and they were like, oh, we're immortal, and we're so sad, and we can't have babies or fall in love. Like, dude, just die then. Or like, taking a ship and left? All the people they lured here had ships. It's so stupid. I'm so mad. And I think this is meant to be like a feminist episode, sort of maybe. I mean, Uhura did kick ass, and it was written by a woman. But again, these women on this planet just want to have babies and fall in love. That's kind of depressing.
Okay, but maybe that was, the point. Maybe they wanted to make these women who just want to, have babies.
Step very lightly, Cake.
So it was mostly just like Romulan and Klingon men, so they didn't really care. That's what happened. They just let them get away with murdering Romulans, and that's fine.
I accept that. They're at war. This is fun.
Yeah.
In that vein, 3 out of 5. It was fun. Again, I got to watch Uhura be really cool, and Chapel did some cool stuff, and all these ladies in miniskirts shooting other women. That's always fun.
Oh yeah, Uhura kicked so much ass. This is a golden tier, top tier episode just for all the ass that she kicked.
And she and Chapel voiced every character, even the computers.
Oh yeah, that's
So that
true.
was fun.
This was a big episode from Majel Barrett and Nichelle Nichols.
So what'd you think? Dare I ask?
I thought this was a great episode. This is the best one we've watched so far by a long shot. It's just that kind of 60s corny and dumb. And it just felt like Star Trek. It was good. The Roddenberry sexism was on full display here. You know, this is Star Trek as it was meant to be in certain ways.
He definitely would have loved to film this in real life, because then he would get to meet all the blonde women.
Oh yeah, that's the best day of his pervy little career. Having to pick out 8 beautiful blonde women for his TV show. It's everything Gene wanted. And I want it for him, even though he's an old pervert. So anyway, in the spirit of Gene, I'm gonna give this a normal, good rating. This is 5 out of 5 stars episode.
You know, I wanted this more than anything, and now I feel disappointed.
I give it a leg out of breast.
That actually kind of fits. So what do you all think? Was it good? Was it bad? Who's your favorite lady character? Who's your favorite sexist character? Leave a comment or a like or whatever. We like you. We want you to like us.
And be sure to like and subscribe if you're out there. We're doing the hard work here watching these episodes, and it would mean a lot to us. And it would help us grow the channel.
So join us next time for episode 5. More tribbles, more trebles. Oh shit, not more tribbles, not again.
Goddamn treble episode.